less artists are on the dance floor nowadays. It goes both for kizomba festivals and salsa festivals, in my opinion. I travel a lot, so I see a lot of festivals, and I think I can understand why this is happening, because the most popular artists, they travel so much. They travel every weekend, and I think that causes that they're not as enthusiastic or not as, fit, energetic, or motivated to dance as much as they used to. Because in the old days, I remember, festivals were very rare. There were not so many festivals, so artists were really happy when they were booked, and so for them it was also a party. I mean, they were getting paid, but it was also fun for them to be there and, join all the other artists and dance with people. It was a way of, a moment where they could show off. And but nowadays I can understand why artists maybe are not able to dance all night long with so many people. But on the other hand, I also know that many people go to festivals because they want to dance with artists. Not everybody, but a lot of people do. And they don't want to maybe dance all night with artists, but they do want to dance with all the artists once at least. And so it's also a way of attracting public. I mean, this is also why an organizer books certain artists, because these artists are popular, people want to dance with them, people want to see them, and this is why they come to the festival. So for an organizer, it's important. It's important that artists really socialize and are on the dance floor to have a successful festival. It also brings a lot of atmosphere to a festival. I think when artists dance, especially when they do it together, when artists do something together and like maybe in a circle and they switch and they do fun stuff, it brings a lot of atmosphere to people, to the party, and so that's important. And I wish there was like a solution for this, but I mean, you cannot force artists to dance. So the only thing you can do as an organizer, I think, is to make them so comfortable and that they can have fun. If you have workshops until 8 o'clock in the night, and then 1 hour, like 1 hour of time for themselves, and then the show starts, how are these people gonna, relax and be ready to party? They're not gonna be able to. If you don't give them anything to drink, these are also factors that weigh in. And so both parties have to give in a bit to have a successful festival, and artists should also have a bit of responsibility in this. I mean, strictly, it's not that they are obligated to dance on festivals, but it's also in their own interest. You see that artists that dance a lot on the socials are very popular with them. And the more successful festivals there are, the more jobs artists have. So it's also in their best interest to invest in this, I think. But it's everybody's opinion. This is my opinion. And
So an interesting question. Do we have more people, celebrities, artists, instructors, people of fame in the Salsa scene? Do they dance more or less at congresses? It depends on the congress. It really does. Some people, you go to congresses and everyone's dancing, having a great time. Sometimes not. I don't think it's a good or a bad thing, to be perfectly honest. I generally think that as humans, we go to parties to enjoy ourselves. Some people enjoy themselves by dancing every night, every hour, every song. Some people want to have drinks, chill out at the bar, have a cigarette, enjoy themselves. Even though artists are paid to be here, we have to forget, first and foremost, they're human beings. Human beings. Now, very important statement. Some of them want to dance, some of them don't. Why should we judge? The other thing with Salsa is that a lot of artists, do not intend to be famous, well known. They just do what they love. And now they have friends, international communities, but they're still humans. They still have their own wants and desires. Does it affect the party? It could do, yes. With congresses, you get different people coming. Some people are there for the artists, some people are there for the dance. We're in Brasov. I did not come for artists at all. I came to dance, meet new people, explore new cultures, see a new city. So it doesn't matter. For my students, I also think it does not matter. If you dance with people and have fun, who cares who you're dancing with? Beginners, improvers, advanced, it does not matter whatsoever. People do get all uppity about it, but why? Seriously, why? Have fun. If I see Magna Gold Power there, amazing dancer, amazing dancer. If I dance with her, great. If I don't, there are hundreds of dancers that I can connect with, not just the famous ones. And to be honest, you learn from everyone. You learn on the dance floor, you learn through people. I know a lot of people that go to congresses and have a dance card of 5 or 6 teachers, and if they don't get those, they'll be very upset. Hundreds of dancers. Franco, you have thousands at your congress. If I don't dance with 2 of the instructors, it does not bother me. Why should it? People from Romania, people from Spain, Italy, Germany, every single flavor. Think of it in terms of this way. You go to a restaurant, I don't just eat 5-star gourmet meals. Yes, the dance instructors are amazing. Yes, they could do stuff and inspire you, but then again, my sustenance doesn't come from 5-star cooking. It comes from day-to-day people. I'd enjoy dancing at a congress the same as I will in a local club. Nothing special, nothing's different.
Hello, I'm Vanessa Diaz from Paris. I'm a professional dancer and I dance with the Léon Rose project. The question is if I think that dancers dance less on the dance floor and social dancing. For me, it's true. I remark it that they dance less than before. I cannot explain why. Maybe I think today there is so many congresses, a lot of congresses, and I think maybe some dancer get bored, get tired to do to travel a lot, to do a lot of congresses. I don't know, maybe it can be the reason, I don't know. I'm not like that, I have another mind. I think for me it's very important to dance with people because people come to learn, come to watch shows, but they come also to dance with the artist. And sometimes for them it's more important to come and dance with artists than looking show or doing workshop. Sometimes they will remember just, oh, I dance with this guy or this girl, and they will maybe forget this show or another one. So for me it's really important that dancers share. People are here to dance with artists and to share experience.
As you know, today a lot of people are complaining that artists are not dancing, are not socializing with the people. I think it's the half of the truth. On one side, you have to understand that the artists, they are traveling a lot, they're traveling every weekend, so they are tired. Second, most of the time they're going to the party after the shows. They are tired. Maybe they was not able to eat, to have some food. And the third thing is, a lot of time the music is not so good, and artists are complaining, saying, okay, I would like to dance, but with this music I don't feel inspired to go on the dance floor asking people to dance. So I think all of us, we have to understand this. And yeah, it's important. It's important for an event, and people are coming for the artists, not for us or for the organizers or for the DJs only. They are coming for the artists, and they have to understand why this happens. So that's the reason I mentioned it before. My personal opinion is it's important that, but we have to find a right level, a level one level is to understand the artists for maybe sometimes wrong behavior, that they will not to dance and maybe they are too tired and everything. But on the other side, artists have to understand that they are booked to work. It's a working weekend, it's not holiday, so they have to socialize. And if they are tired to not dance with the people, it's okay, but go with the people, stay with people, speak with people, socialize, go and drink something, tell them stories about their life and something like this, so people feel a little bit more connected with the artist. I think it's important. So it's half-half, and if we are able to do this and to create this atmosphere, I think that will be the right size for each event.
After so many years of going to congresses, to answer the question, it kind of really depends on from event to event, and also timing. There's some times where you see lots of artists on the dance floor, sometimes maybe not as much. There are definitely lots of them who are on the dance floor. It could be the time that you're looking for somebody really great to dance with, and maybe they took a break, or maybe they have an early workshop to teach the next morning, or preparing for a show the next day. So maybe that might be the reason why they have left the dance floor early, or who knows, maybe sometimes some of them are injured, but of course the show must go on, so they have to be ready for their shows or preparing for the practice. But I definitely see lots of, maybe for the same amount that are not dancing, there are some that are dancing. I know that in the States, you'll definitely still see lots of people dancing on the dance floor, social-wise. When I think about the instructors, the performers, and from the Congress here this year, I would definitely say, although it's the first night, I've definitely seen lots of people dancing. But it could be so many different reasons, and those are just a few of them. That can be injury, preparing for shows, pacing yourself, especially for the artists, if they are working several events a year, I can go hard every weekend. If you're working almost every weekend, then you kind of have to pace yourself, because we only have one body. We only have a certain amount of physicality, a certain amount of energy, so we have to be able to pace ourselves so that I can give 100% to every event that I am committed to. So this is also part of it also, that I can't go 300% this weekend and go 75% next week. Everyone deserves 100% for every event that I'm committed to, or every artist is committed to. So this is also important to keep in consideration as well. If you're maybe seeing somebody you really enjoy dancing with, or you wanted to get a chance to dance with and you don't see them as much on the dance floor, that could be a reason as well. So I think when answering the question, people also have to take the time to take in consideration other perspectives, not just their own, not just I want to dance with the person when I want to dance. That there might be other factors that I'm not aware of, which might lessen or increase the amount of time that you might find somebody on the social dance floor. So I think across the board, I think that definitely still people come to the events for social dancing. I think as an artist, if the music is great, you're here with friends, you want to enjoy yourself, you're out social dancing, maybe not as much as somebody who came strictly for social dancing, but I think just as much as, any other artist. And of course, some are definitely on the dance floor more than others, and that's kind of similar to everybody's situation.
And does it matter at all?
Maybe with some it does. I think that definitely it adds to the prospective event when, let's say, there's somebody who might come to see me, and maybe to have the opportunity to dance. Let's say I gave a workshop and somebody had the opportunity, maybe they're just starting out, being intimidated, to have somebody who's a professional or very comfortable guide them on the dance floor, and so they have a sense of the feeling or the fun of the dance with somebody that maybe they only saw in a video. I think it's a nice personal touch for the artists if they're able to dance, sometimes, maybe they're not committed all the time. But I think that it definitely can add to the value of the event. So if they're dancing a lot, I think this is great. If they're only dancing sometime, this is fine as well. But I think every opportunity that, whether it's socializing or social dancing, that the artists have to engage with the public per se, I think adds value to the lives of the people who are participating, as well as the value of the event.
Well, I personally believe that the artists have to try and become a little bit of everything. So we have to become performers, entertainers, people who socialize with different people. And it's a little bit of a raw deal that we get as artists as well. So as to the opinion whether we get, whether we should be dancing more with people on the dance floor or not, there are different points of views on how to look at it. My personal experience is that in my case, where I am booked to do a show, I am booked to teach 3 workshops, and I'm booked to MC on all 3 nights as well, sometimes on 2 nights, and I perform on one of the nights. It becomes a little bit of a complex issue where I have to try and fit all the timings of everything that I need to do. So say, for example, we start at 9 o'clock with the preparations for a performance. Those are the preparations for the performers. I am still the MC, just to give an example from my role as a host. So as a host, I'm there before the artists even start changing their clothes. When they're walking around in their jeans, I'm already dressed. I'm gearing up for the presentation of the evening. I'm talking to all the artists and interacting with them to understand what is it that I have to do on stage in order to do my part of the performance, in order to bring them out in a good light, so that when they come out to perform, the crowd is warm, the crowd is ready. And so my day really starts an hour before your other performers start. So by the time that you finish doing a whole set of shows and you get to a 1 o'clock slot, so it doesn't even matter, even if you start shows early, when you finish, say at about 12 o'clock, shows will start at around 10:30, they finish at around 12 o'clock, assuming that it's an hour and a half show set. I have a debrief to do at that point in time, so I have to speak to the organizer for a debrief to understand what could have gone better, what went wrong, what we could improve on for the next day. So it's a continuous effort. By the time I actually leave that backstage is 1 o'clock in the morning. So I've been working for the last 4 hours and I'm exhausted, but my role now as an artist switches from being now the host to now having to be now the face of the social element of the night. People come there to see us artists, people come to dance with us, but I wouldn't really attribute it to the fact that they come to the festival because they want to come and dance with us. I believe, again, that some of us, they want to dance with, and they have made, they've made it their life mission to get to an event because they want to dance with you. Others are just happy to see someone there that they can talk to. So they're just different vibes from different artists. In my role, I'm the kind of artist who is there socializing with people. So I'm there not entertaining. I'm not an entertainer when I finish work. I'm actually being very genuine and socializing with people. So whether I'm funny, it's just my character. It's not that I'm being paid to be funny, or I am told in my contract that I have to be funny with the people when I finish my work. So it is my free time, and my free time from this point, because my contract only covers going up on stage, emceeing, performing, teaching, and being at the event during the entire time. I do not get paid to talk when I finish work. So everything I do, I give from myself to the audience because I love what I do. And I've been doing this for 15 years now. And I always have this saying that if you are bored or you're not having a good time, don't spoil it for others as an artist. Go back to your hotel and sleep. So that is always how I believed it. So when I'm out there, I'm being me. I'm being a genuine person that is there to socialize with people. Now, you can imagine that we've had a whole bunch of hours before where we've been working, and we get to the point where you have to go and be seen to be working. Otherwise, an organizer is going to look at you and say, well, he's not working, so I'm not bringing him next year. I cannot say this for all organizers, but there's some organizers that believe that this is a fundamental part of their event. But I think everyone takes a little bit of blame for everything. So an organizer has to take the blame because he is not organizing it in a way that you have breathing space for you as an artist, so that you can focus on what is important, the people that have come, the people that have paid money to be at the event. And in that, I believe that there is some sort of failing in the system from the organizer's perspective, for not organizing your time to be with the people. He organizes your time to be on stage, the time that you should eat, the time that you get picked up, but what about the people that have paid money to come to your event? So now, when I'm exhausted, how can I have that free will to want to dance with people? I'm dead. I have no energy left. So my wife usually tells me, so Tamam, explain to me, you go to an event and you love dancing and you love to teach people and you love to perform and you get an adrenaline kick every time you go out there and grab a microphone and talk. Why is it that when you're finished, you go and just hang out by the bar and talk to people? And I say, because I'm dead. I have no more energy. I can't, I'm sleeping 4 hours and I have to be up again. My first workshop is going to start like the moment that, if you can't choose between an after party or going to sleep, because now the organizer says, well, he's not working. Why are the other performers here? And Tamam is not here. Well, Tamam has his first workshop in the morning, or Tamam has his second workshop in the morning, but he was told to come earlier because of whatever it is that the organizer has requested him to do. So there are different takes to everything, but it boils down to one thing. There is that essence that people pay money to come to an event. And the question is, do people pay to come and see you in particular? And if that is the case, then as an organizer, you need to recognize, well, this guy, they want him because he just dances all night and doesn't stop. So maybe I need to organize his work in a way that he teaches only in the afternoons, because that way he hangs out with the people all night. And this other guy is a very awesome instructor, but they just want him because he's a good teacher. He's just an awesome teacher and people want to take his classes. So give him the first workshops in the day, so then when he gets to the night, people are not going to want to dance with him, but just talk to him and tell him what a great teacher he is. And he goes back to bed early and he's fresh the following day, waiting to give people what they want. So the mismatch comes from organizers not understanding what the people want, and all they understand is, well, he performs, so I'm going to give him this amount of shows. These amount of shows are scheduled here. I'll give him workshops because it fits nicely in the plan. Not it fits nicely in the artist's schedule because I want this artist to have free time to relax so that he can dance with people at night, because people will enjoy him. And it kind of becomes a little bit of going in a circle, and it becomes that vicious circle. So in a nutshell, who is to blame for this? I don't think that all attendees come for the artists in particular to dance with them. I think they come maybe to see their shows, or they come to see their classes, to take their classes, or they come to see them host an event because they enjoy the host and they have a great laugh with him. Maybe they just want to have a chat because the guy is really funny and they have a great time with him hanging out by the bar because this guy is some party dude who is sitting by the bar and just making a lot of fun. And there are people that just look good at an event without having to do anything. So it's trying to recognize those different types of artists and blend them in nicely into the schedule, the program, and blend them nicely into how you want the evening flow to go with your attendees. So that's a little bit my take in a nutshell about this whole thing. Whether an artist is an important feature as a social dancer, if that is the case, then also the artist has to take that sort of responsibility. This is the one thing I didn't touch on. So as an artist, I have to take responsibility that if I work 4 weekends in a row and I've been teaching at 4 different events in a row, do I really want to be dancing? So what happens is that I'm doing a lot of quantity and I'm earning money as an artist, but am I saving any energy for the people? So am I really truly enjoying now what I'm doing? This is the factor that I haven't touched upon yet. That's the artist side of things. My personal experience, I promised myself to not take more than 2 events on a monthly basis because I always want to be fresh for an event. I want to sort of be exclusive at an event so that I can give my 120% at an event and be there for the people because I'm hungry, because I love what I do. And there are people that have been able to cope with it, artists that go on weekend after weekend performing, teaching, and still hold out. But there is a burnout point, and they cannot give any more of themselves. And that's where disappointment starts now. So organizers organize your time beautifully because you are the guy that dances with everyone and you did it last year and the year before. So he expects you again to do it because it's an expectation. He is burnt out. I, as an artist, if I perform every weekend, I am burnt out. I have no more energy left. So we all have a little bit of responsibility to chip in here. So we complained about the organizer as being not so organized as he believed he is, but now I can also complain about the artist that I, as well as an organizer, I do organize events, and as an organizer, I bring in artists that have been teaching every weekend, and I know this because they're in demand, and I put them in on my schedule, and I can see and feel that burnout, and I just say to them, go sleep, man, really, you don't need to be here, I'm not offended, but the last thing that I want is to have an artist at my event screwing up my event, because there's no other way of putting it, because he is bored to death there and just counting the hour when he can go home to sleep because he doesn't want to be there. He doesn't have that energy he's not hungry. And so we have that sense of responsibility as well as organizers to choose people that we don't have to force to deliver at our events, but we book artists that are coming there to the event hungry, the will to have a great time. You have people that teach every weekend and somehow find that energy. So I'm not trying to specify particular artists, but rather say that there are very few artists that are able to keep this up as part of their daily routine because this is their bread and their butter, but they also love what they do, and somehow, don't ask me how, they have this energy and drive to do it. The only problem now are the copycats that try to do the same thing, and they will generally take that same amount of work by charging less money to end up at those same events, to do the same amount of work, to have the same amount of popularity, but not deliver at the level that these professionals are delivering it at. And that's the difference between the professionals and the professional hobbyists.